Hi class, this video will help you complete lessons 6 through 9 of Unit 1. So it's going to cover comparing objects or comparing numbers or groups of objects that are equal, less than, or greater than. So we're first going to look at these puppies on this dog bed, or these puppies in these dog beds. You can see there's puppies here and there's dog beds here. So the first thing that I'm going to do to see if they're equal is I'm going to draw a line from each puppy to a dog bed. And if I look, I see that for each puppy there is a dog bed. So these are equal. There aren't any leftovers on either side. There aren't any leftover puppies that don't have dog beds, and there aren't any dog beds that don't have puppies. If I look at the numbers, there's 1, 2, 3 puppies, and there's 1, 2, 3 dog beds. So we see that there's 3 dog beds and 3 puppies, so those numbers are equal. In our assignment, if we see that there is something equal, then we are going to draw a box around those objects. So I would draw a box around them and say, well, let me fix my box. I'm going to say, yep, they're equal, so I box them because 3 equals 3. Let's go on to the next problem. So here I have mice and I have cheese. So remember in the first slide I showed you how we first match them up. We draw a line from each mouse to a piece of cheese to make sure that each mouse has a piece of cheese. And sure enough, when I look and see, I was able to draw a line from each mouse to a piece of cheese. Now let's look at the numbers and see if they're the same number. So let's first count our mice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 mice. Let's count our cheese. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 pieces of cheese. Does 5 equal 5? Is 5 the same number as 5? The answer is yes. So just like I showed you before, where the answer is yes, I am going to go ahead and put a box around them because they are equal. So everybody say equal with me. Equal. That means they have the same number. Okay. In lesson 7, we start comparing items of objects that are different. So when I look at this, it looks like they aren't the same, but we're going to match them up. So I'm going to match up this apple with this horse. I'm going to match up this apple with this horse. And look, we have a problem. We have a little horse here that she doesn't have an apple. So I'm actually going to put a circle around her because she does not have an apple. So I'm going to say, oh, look, she is without an apple. So she is my extra. So, oh, sorry about that. I made a clear line, but I want to make a transparent line. There we go. So I'm going to circle my extra because she is without. So if there's a side that has more, so this one doesn't have an apple to go with it. So this side is greater. That means that there's more horses than there are apples. So let's look at the numbers. Let's compare the numbers. Let's first count how many apples there are. There's 1, 2. So you have 2 apples. Let's count how many horses there are. There's 1, 2, 3. So let's look at the numbers. Are they the same? Is 2 the same as 3? No. 2 is less than 3, as I showed you here. There are not enough apples to give to each horse. So 3 is greater than 2. 3 is the largest number. Okay, so then I would listen to the directions. If the directions said that I need to circle the group that is greater, then I would get my circle. I'd get my circle. And I would circle those because they are greater. It might say something like put an X on the group that is smaller. So if that's the case, then I will just draw an X on it. I'll say, nope, and I can't figure out my drawing tool, but I would put an X on these two to show that they are less than. So everyone say greater than, which is a bigger number. Less than is a smaller number. There are not as many. So let's look at this one. This problem is a little bit tricky because they're not lined up. So it's harder to tell if they are, if there's more or less. So again, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to match up our carrots with our bunnies. This one goes here. I'm going to match this one to this one. And then finally, I've got this one that goes up here to this bunny. Now I'm really careful to make sure that I only draw a line that each object only has one line touching it. So this carrot goes to this bunny. This carrot goes to this bunny. This carrot goes here, and then this carrot goes here. So do we have any extras that don't have a line? Remember, if we do, we are going to go ahead and circle the extra. So I see that this one is my extra one. So I circled it. So this group is greater, right? There's more bunnies than there are carrots. There's less carrots than there are bunnies. So let's look at our numbers to make sure. So let's count our carrots. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 carrots. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bunnies. So I could say that 4 is less than 5. And 5 is greater than or a bigger number than 4. So again, I would listen to the directions. If it said that I needed to circle something, then I would go ahead and circle. Like maybe the directions said circle the group that's less than this time. So this time, when I listen to the directions, it says, and again, I apologize, I got to make this transparent. So I circle this group, and maybe it says to put an X on the group that's greater than. So then I just listen. I listen to what the direction says. But remember, less than means that there's not as many. Greater than means that there is more.